Hey everybody, so this is going to be my finale for Throwback 30. You're also going to see that there's an intro for Throwback 30 for the next iteration, but I figured I'd break this into two videos for you just to make it a little bit simpler because I know that next one's going to be a long one. So, we're starting with the finale. Now, before I get into this, I am going to ask you to please do all of the things. You know what they are. This project is kind of confusing in some ways. So this is something that started with an idea that Jessica Lee had where, because we can't get to every project in the Fantastic Ladies group on Facebook, she puts a list together of all kinds of past and present projects that have been done by the group and then lets the members of the group vote on which ones they want to include in this Throwback 30. And this then becomes a compilation, and it is the top 30 voted on projects where we get to go in and pick a prompt if it's a prompt-based project, or just pick a product if it's one of those that's a little more open-ended. And we can kind of set our own goals and just get done what we get done. So, yeah, the same thing's going to happen for the next one, but that's really not the point. How this works is, this is something that started on it's July 28th of last year, is ending July 28th of this year, hopefully the day you're seeing this, and then the next round of it is going to start the same day, and they go for the whole calendar year. Like I said, there are 30 projects that are involved, and we kind of get to pick from within that, and so everybody gets to choose their own thing, so each of us does it a little bit differently. Now, the hashtag for this one is hashtag Throwback 30 projectpan, being 30, and we do monthly updates on this. I don't know if there's anything else you need to know. Well, actually, what you need to know is this. I was down to my last 3 items. And I have to record this just a little bit early, so I'm cutting this project off a little bit early. I could have maybe eked out a little bit more, but I am going to be out of town when you're seeing this. So here's what we have left. I had Budget Beauty. So this is like a drugstore or budget item. For that, I brought in my Wet n Wild Lip Sleeping Mask in lavender. And this was brand new when I brought it in. We are over halfway done, but we are not quite finished. We are a third left, give or take. And that's fine. It will eventually get finished, no big deal, but I didn't quite make it for this project. Then the other thing I had in was Pan as Old as Time. So this was an oldest palette, and this was the Mary Kay Eye Color Quad. And we have got the shades Cream, Opal, I'll move my hand, Sable, and then this last one here is Bittersweet. My goal for this was to actually hit pan in every shade, and obviously, do it without the mirror blinding you. I hit pan in those first two. You can see there is a dip. You can see I am so flippin' close to pan in that last one, and I just couldn't quite, oh, actually, oh, you know what? There is, I see a hint of pan. It's a pinpoint. So I don't know if we're counting that or not, but if there is a pinpoint tiny, I'm going to have to take a picture and pop it up because I can barely see it. But I didn't even come close. There's a dip in this one, but I did not even come close to pan on that one. So this is, wow, really, really old. You guys knew that. And I was not sure if I was going to keep this around or not, but I'm kind of getting some good color payoff. Well, okay, not really. It's old, it's dusty. There's barely color payoff on some of those. Ooh, we're going to crinkle. Sorry, guys. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this around or if it is perhaps time to let this one go. I don't know. I use that brown, that dark brown, this last one, quite a bit as an outer corner and then also as an eyeliner. And it worked really well for that. So I don't know. Maybe I will hold on to it for just a little bit longer. We'll see. I hate letting things go. I'm horrible. All right. The last one that I have in is for tiny pans. So this is obviously tiny pans. And I brought in one of the Lancome promo items. This is not their regular size palette that you buy, although it is a 5-pan, same design as that. So this one is Go Bold is the color story. Now, as you can see, I didn't finish the black off completely, but it's a black waffle pan. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can kind of tell that's all pretty much pan. There's just a little bit left at the edges. I did hit pan in, I used up all of this cream shade. I hit pan here. I hit pan here. Now, that one I didn't quite hit pan in, but I used these. Oh, wow, that's hard to do. My finger's too fat. Quite a bit to get to pan in these. This shade, although it doesn't look like it's anything interesting, is actually a shade that, oh wow, this is just hard for me to get swatches on. It's a shade that I really, really like, and it is working amazingly well as a transition. Now, the darker one isn't quite dark enough to be outer corner. Okay, because these are the three right here that are left in that palette. But so this is a great transition. This just gets muddy. It's not burgundy, cranberry, whatever. It just kind of looks brownish on me, so it's kind of boring. And this one is the one that isn't quite dark enough to be a really good outer corner, but it works super well in the crease. So although I did not finish it, I did hit some pans. I did come somewhat close. I'm fairly proud of myself. And considering that this project started with 30 items and I literally completed 27 out of the 30, I'm going to call that a win. We're gonna say that's a pretty darn good job. Wow, really? Crazy train. And if I'd had a little more time, yes, I probably could have hit a couple more pans, but it is what it is. So we are calling this good. That is it for the project, but I'm going to give you a bit of a throwback for a music moment. I decided that I wanted to bring in the song Bittersweet by Big Head Todd and the Monsters. So this one is a little bit strange in some ways because Bittersweet originally appeared on the band's independently released live album called Midnight Radio in 1990. But it was redone then and included on their third studio album, Sister Sweetly. And that is the one, and that's in 1993, and that's kind of what people know it from. So if you look up what album it's on, you're going to get a couple different answers and a couple different years on it. And that's why. In case, I don't know if anyone else cares about this, but this is one of those things that I always find interesting. Now, this is their third biggest success. It did get a lot of radio play. It peaked at number 14 on the U.S. mainstream rock chart. It only hit 104 on Billboard's Hot 100, so it didn't quite get into that top 100, but they didn't have a huge ton of commercial success, like I said. This one peaked at 14, and that's their third biggest success. They don't have too many other things that really charted as far as I'm aware. Okay, just Broken-Hearted Savior is a song that you might know. That one, I think got a little bit more airplay. Now, the band is, okay, let's get back to it. They have done so many studio albums, holy crap, and they've got a bunch, like 6 live albums and compilation albums, and but they have been around since, I want to say 1986. They formed in Colorado. I don't know where in Colorado, but they formed in 1986. Their first album was 1989, and that's another Mayberry. I don't know which label these things were on. I know Sister Sweetly. Okay, Midnight Radio was the next one, and that's the one Bittersweet was originally on. Then the next one, Sister Sweetly, is like, I think their first major label album, and that's 93. Now, these guys are still together. They are still around. They are still, as recently as 2020, putting out albums. Studio album. Or that's a live album, so sorry. 2017 was their last studio album. But they did do a live one too. It has got, it's a 4-member band, and they have a pretty, they're kind of like, they have a huge local kind of cult-like following. Let's put it that way. I saw them play once in a really small little bar restaurant in downtown St. Paul a bajillion years ago. But I think they do better more in the mountain area. They do better in like Colorado, that kind of stuff. So that is, I think, the main thing I want to tell you about that. But there was, oops, didn't mean to do that. There was something that was questioned about, okay, why they have the name Big Head Todd. And this I thought was actually kind of interesting. The reason that they do that is, the reason they picked the name, it was kind of a fluke. The lead singer's name is Todd, yes, but the name actually is a tribute to a previous generation of musicians, specifically jazz musicians, who a lot of time had slightly odd nicknames, perhaps you could say. So it was, the example that they give is the jazz saxophonist Eddie Cleanhead Vinson. So that's kind of where they got that name from, because it's not like they're monsters, even though that's in the name of the band, and they don't have big heads and they're not scary. It's none of that. It is very, very indie alt type of music. Light rock? No, not light rock. That sounds like elevator music. I hate that term. It is not your standard rock and roll. It is a lighter version of that, which is the reason that I dub it a little bit more indie alternative type of music. So the song is kind of what you would imagine it would be if you look at the lyrics of the song. It is about a female, and it's about a relationship with that female, and it is kind of about the demise of that. Things that they don't tell each other, the things that they work around each other with. One rising while the other pretends they're sleeping. So it is kind of like a sad song, but it is so beautiful that it is my favorite song by them. And so I wanted to give it to you guys. So you know I'm going to have that down in the description box. You know I'm going to have Jessica down there. You know that I'm going to have the Fantastic Ladies down there. So make sure you check out those description boxes on my videos, because I always have extra goodies in there for you. All right, that is everything I think I want to say about this, and I think that we're going to end it right here. So thank you for giving me some of your time. Thank you for following me on this journey. Make sure you check out my intro for the new round of it. And until next time, everybody, see ya. Bye.